Hello everyone, today class number 35. Class number 35 for electrical machine 2. Class number 35 for electrical machine 2. Okay. So today I will start the zero power factor test, which is most important test for alternator. Okay. So let us do some heading. Third test of the alternator, that is zero power factor test. Zero power factor test, or in short you can say ZPFC test. Okay. So zero power factor test or ZPFC test. Okay. So right. To perform this test, to perform this zero power factor test, the alternator is driven at rated speed. Alternator is driven at rated speed with zero power factor, a purely inductive load. That is, first point is the alternator is driven at rated speed. Okay. And second one, load is connected with zero power factor, purely inductive load. Okay. And make some points. Okay. Right. Across the armature terminals. So load is connected with zero power factor inductive load across the armature terminals. Okay. As the armature is stationary here, so armature across the armature terminal there is a load. Okay. There is a load. Okay. So next, right, the field current IF is varied so that the armature terminal voltage Vt is also varied, so that the armature terminal voltage, that is VA, armature terminal voltage VA is also varied by keeping IA is constant, by keeping IA equals to constant. So you have to vary this IF such a way that IA should be constant and VA will be varying. Okay. So IA will be constant and VA will be varying. Okay. So right. So that IA is also varied, but the field current is so adjusted, the IA must be kept constant and Ix do so. Vt becomes varied. So this is the ultimate thing. That is, IF is varying and IA should be constant and VA is also varying in nature. That means the circuit will be through a external resistance R. This IF is varying. Okay, so this varying IF will produces the varying field MMF, right, or field flux inside the air gap. And in case of the rotor, that is, or in case of the stator, it is rotor and stator, right? This is rotor, this is stator. So in case of this stator, across the stator terminal we should connect a voltmeter which reads VA. Okay, which reads VA. Okay, and there will be a load, there will be a purely inductive load, three-phase balanced purely inductive load. Okay, so this is star connected load, purely inductive based load. This IA, there will be a ammeter. Okay, this IA is taking the current, measuring the current as equals to constant. Okay, it should be constant. So this IF should be varying in such a way, IA should be varying in such a way that the IA should be constant, and you have to read the voltage reading, okay, one by one. You have to read the voltage reading one by one. That means when right, it is observed that when IF is very small, it is observed that when IF is very small, that is R is very high. This R is very high and IF is very small. Okay. At that situation, the VT, there VA equals to 0. At that situation, VA equals to approximately equals to 0, but not equals to 0. Very nearly equals to 0. Okay. The VA nearly equals to 0, almost 0. Okay. We can assume it as a 0. So when IF is gradually increasing, after a certain period of time, when IF is gradually, this is the observation, when IF is gradually increasing, after a certain period of time, VA will rise. Okay. So within this period of time, whatever the amount of current is withstand by the stator without any production of any voltage, this amount of current is utilized by the air gap. Okay, this amount of current is utilized by the air gap, that is IAXAL drop. Okay. Next one, right? Once VA is rising, then IF is also raised up. IF is also raised up. That is, when VA starts to rise, then IF having a sufficient larger value. Okay, IF is sufficiently larger value. Okay, so and it is varying in nature. So by these three concepts, we can draw a zero power factor curve. So EF is all time, it is a reference phasor, right? And IF is flowing through in this direction. Okay, IF is flowing through this direction, and ZPFC after a certain period of time, when IF is 0, then VF is almost 0, or it is actually 0. We are taking it as a 0, then VA equals to 0. Okay, so when IF equals to 0, then VF equals to 0. When IF is gradually rising, after a certain period of time, it will rise. Okay, it will rise like this. Okay, so this is IF naught. We can say it is IF naught, and within this period of time, there is a totally armature reactance or the air gap reactance drop is carried out. Okay, and now what happened? Now we have to draw the OCC curve on the same machine. So what will be the OCC curve? OCC will be, okay, so this is the OCC curve. This is OCC, that is open circuit characteristics curve, and this is ZPFC curve. Okay, so now what should I do? We have to take a certain amount of field current. So now we have to take a certain amount of field current which is greater than IF naught. Suppose I am taking in this current. So make a projection on these both two lines. So whatever the displacement of this OCC to the ZPFC is due to the complete inductive load connected across the OCC. Means what? There is no load, right? Once it has connected to by a inductive load, then the characteristics should be deviated. Okay, so due to this deviation, this difference at any particular current IF, suppose I am taking IF1. Okay, I am taking it as a IF1. So at a particular field current, there will be a difference of in between these two curves, and this difference is nothing but IAXAL drop. Okay, so right, this IAXAL drop is found by the difference between two lines, two characteristics, that is open circuit characteristics and ZPFC characteristics at a particular field current which is greater than IF naught. Okay, so this IAXAL drop is nothing but armature leakage reactance drop. Okay, so This is called armature leakage reactance drop. So actually this ZPFC need to be found this value, okay, IAXAL drop, and this will be calculated by using the Pottier triangle. Okay, so now I will move into the Pottier triangle now. So what is Pottier triangle? So next heading, Pottier triangle with by helping or drawing of the Pottier triangle from the ZPFC. Okay, so now the heading, that do some heading, drawing of Pottier triangle. POTIER, okay, drawing of Pottier triangle from ZPFC. Okay, so from ZPFC. So first, so write point by point. First draw OCC. First draw OCC and ZPFC for a same alternator. Okay, so what will be the OCC and ZPFC of a same alternator or S type of a alternator? So it will be, EF will be reference phasor and IF will looks like here, and OCC will be shifted by some field current. Okay, shifted by some field current, and ZPFC will be, okay. So actually ZPFC it will be slightly, it will be constant here, and after that it will be almost constant, and yes, this is the ZPFC. Okay, this is the ZPFC. Okay, so this is IF naught, and make heading, it is OCC, it is ZPFC. Okay, for a certain triangle. So next point, so point to point you have to write, choose a particular field current. Choose a particular field current greater than IF naught. Always remember greater than IF naught. So I have choiced a field current that is IF1. Okay, so next one, next write from the, so make a point, suppose this is a O and this point is taken as B. Okay, so current OB I am writing, I am mentioning over here. Okay, so from the point B, make a projection, from the point B make a projection which will cut the ZPFC at the point C, which will cut the ZPFC at the point C. Suppose this point is C, so at the point, so from B draw a vertical line or projection, to ZPFC, which will cut ZPFC at C. Okay, so next point right, from the point C, draw a parallel line to OB, that is this line, which will cut the OCC, which will be equal to, suppose this is A point. Okay, this is A point, which will be equals to OA. So you can say that from the point draw a parallel line to OB or OA, whatever, OA or OB have some same slope, right? Have a same slope. That's why you can choose any one. So OA or OB, whatever you can say. So but it is very much equals to OA. Okay, it will be very much equals to OA. So this, if we draw it, then suppose we are getting a point over here. Okay, we can getting a point over here. Suppose this will be OA, or it will be CD. Okay, the point will be, draw a parallel line CD, and which will be equals to OA through some point C. Okay, so then write from the point D, draw a line with a slope of OCC at initial. That is, whatever the initial slope, you have to make a straight line from the point D. You have to make a straight line from the point D. Okay, from the point D you have to make a straight line. Okay, so the above line, that is this line, will meet the OCC at E point. So this point is taken as E. Okay, E point. Okay, so no need to, it is not hard and fast rule that it will be meet a particular point over here. Okay, so this E may be, so better to use actually not to use so it is very much clear, it is very much near to this OCC, but will not to touch this OCC within this region. Okay, within this region it will be meet a certain point on the OCC, but not in the same line of this BC. Okay, need not to be same. Okay, need not to be same. And next right, so from we have find a point, right? We have find a point on OCC. We can find a point on OCC which will be E point. Okay, so next point, join E and C by a straight line. So join E and C by a straight line. Okay, it will form a triangle. Okay, it will form a triangle, that is ECD. Okay, and last point, from the E point draw a perpendicular on CD. So from this E point draw a perpendicular on CD. So you have to draw a perpendicular. Okay, you have to draw a perpendicular from the E point on the CD. Okay, which will meet a point M. So perpendicular on the CD, within bracket write ME. Okay, ME. So the perpendicular named as ME. And the last point, right, the length or first write the triangle MEC. The triangle MEC is called Pottier triangle. So triangle MEC, triangle MEC is called Pottier triangle, and the perpendicular line and perpendicular of the triangle, or the height of the triangle ME, height of the triangle ME is defined, the leakage reactance drop IAXAL, that is this length. Okay, so this ME will be defined as the leakage reactance drop, that is IAXAL. Okay, ME is defined as the IAXAL, that is the perpendicular line, and MC, this length, this amount of length is called, right, demagnetization armature MMF. It is called demagnetization armature MMF. Okay, so that means demagnetization armature MMF means what? your F of A, demagnetization armature MMF. Okay, so this ME and MC to find from the Portier triangle have to be drawn. Okay, so to find this ME and MC, that is leakage reactance drop along with the demagnetization MMF, we can draw a Portier triangle. Okay, and Portier triangle can be drawn from the ZPFC method. Okay, so this is all about the ZPFC and Portier triangle, and next day I will start the next topic, that is voltage regulation. So today's class up to this much, waiting for the next day. Okay, thank you.